Bundles. Bundles. Hey, what's up guys, it's Cher and welcome back to my channel. Before we start this review, I just want to give another shout out to HB Gibson. He just came out with t-shirts, guys. So if you want to be cool like me and you want to be cool like him, make sure you watch his videos. And if you like them, don't forget to subscribe and then maybe pick up a t-shirt. I got mine in men's size small because I like kind of like bigger t-shirts. And it fits really nice, it's really soft. And you know, it's cool. And I just feel like we all need to support, especially small YouTube communities. I feel like we all should like support each other and shout each other out, just because I feel like we gotta stick together. Like, you know, we're a family here on YouTube. Like, you guys are family. So go support my twin and, you know, see if you like his stuff. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, who knows. But you gotta watch first to find out, okay? Okay? So this episode starts with Simon, who is working with Kyle on how to figure out how his new rune power works. So they're working together, they're trying to figure out how it works, and Kyle says, well, if it only happens when you're not like swerving and trying to fight back, just fight back. So they're working together and they're doing like punches and stuff and they're trying to figure it out, and somehow Maya comes up in conversation and Simon's like, yeah, she'd really love to meet you, maybe we can all like go out to dinner or something. And Kyle kind of freezes up and he's like, yeah, nope, not gonna do that, see you later, bye. And he goes to punch Simon again and Simon doesn't block it and he gets like shot back by the rune, so it's still there working and going strong. We still don't know what it means and I'd really like to find out. If you guys know, was the special rune in the books or not, leave a comment down below if you know. Simon went through a lot this episode. I feel like his whole story this episode was just really interesting. So Heidi is still out and about and she finally meets Simon. She like breaks into their apartment and she's like, it's me, do you remember me? You know, you're my sire, you know, we're meant to be together, like you did this, you helped me become like the vampire that I am, I love being a vampire, you know, let's be together. And he's like, no. And he surprises, and she surprises him not once but twice, like out of the blue, doesn't know she's coming. And he feels not necessarily dumb, but he feels very outsmarted. And then he tells her, oh no, I can't be with you romantically because I have a girlfriend. And then she goes, oh, what's her name? As in, but more like, I don't know, how do I say that more crazy? Oh, what's her name? She's kind of like that. And he's like, yeah, I gotta go. I'll see you later. And, okay, you guys might hate me for this, but I actually really like Heidi. I feel like she's a really interesting character, and like we haven't had like a crazy person like on the show before. And the thing is, in a lot of ways Heidi's very correct and she's right, and she's like, you're my sire, you know, you are a part of this, you helped create me, you should be helping me lead the way. But instead Raphael like dug me out of the ground and brought me back. So, and we know Raphael, he was, you know, what was it? He was experimenting on her to see if she was a daylighter, and she's not a daylighter. She doesn't have his powers. And because of that, you know, I won't say he made her crazy because she had been going to the feeder dens since she was like 16. So she was already a part of that life, which means she was already pretty reckless if you're willing to get bitten over and over again. So, I don't know. Homegirl's just a little wild, you feel me? But I like her as a character, and it's really interesting. So I was actually really disappointed when Simon and Kyle got together and they put her away. But the main reason they put her away is because she ended up attacking Isabel. So Isabel and the whole family was at Hunter's Moon, the bar, and Heidi happened to see Izzy kiss him on the cheek, and she was like, oh, that must be his girlfriend. And she goes up to her and she's like, you don't deserve him, da 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 da, and they get into a huge like scruffle or whatever. Simon stops them, and then she's like, oh, you're the woman that he was experimenting on, you know. And she's like, she's done bad things, Simon, we need to turn her in. And they do end up turning her in, which is good, but I hope she breaks out. Like, I hate to say that because that sounds terrible, but I really hope she breaks out and she like comes back and she's like out for revenge, because I think she's a really interesting character and I would love to see more of her. So if that happens, I called it. Okay. Jace is acting funny in Clary's eyes. We know why. He's been hanging out with Mama Demon, and because of that, she has taken away his love for Clary. She like really like snatched it out of Clary's soul, to be honest. So he no longer loves her, and he's being kind of cold and cool towards her. And he says that he went to the Silent Brothers and he's all fixed up and he can go back to work and everything. But he never made it there because he's been with Lilith the entire time. So she's not really sure what's going on. She talks about it with Magnus, and he's like, well, the thing is, maybe he just needs some time. Maybe he just went through something at the Silent Brothers, and, you know, he'll probably go back to normal soon, which is what we were all hoping. But in reality, Lilith just, like, took away his ability to love Clary, which is tragic. Because the thing is, it's like, I know we don't talk about Jace that much anymore, but he's such an interesting character, and this is such a complex situation. Because he has done wrong in Lilith's eyes. He took away her son, and she's out for revenge. So she feels like, okay, I'm going to use him. I'm going to take away his love for Clary, and then I'm going to bring him back. And I'm going to bring him back to his true self once Jonathan is alive again, and Jonathan starts, like, fucking everybody shit up and starts, like, killing everyone, and his whole world will be on fire. Those are her words, not mine. And I'm just like, geez Louise. And like, and then the whole kiss me, you're gonna need your strength. Like, this boy has absolutely no control over himself. And I saw some people were saying that he was cheating on Clary, and I'm like, he doesn't even love Clary right now because she took away his ability to love her. So like, I feel like everyone's being really hard on Jace, but simply because he's being played by Dominic Sherwood. I don't think it really has anything to do with Jace as a character. But, you know, that's my hindsight. I really love the entire Lightwood family. And I know Jace's last name is Harrendale, but I consider him a Lightwood. That's what I've always considered him as. I said his name was Jace Whalen, and I've said his name is Jace Lightwood. I have not paid attention to anything else because I thought the whole brother-sister thing with him and Clary was weird. So I completely ignored that. Well, after a while you kind of have to. And then finding out his real family and stuff, like, that's cool or whatever, but he was raised by the Lightwoods, and like Jace is considered a Lightwood, you know, by Izzy and by Alec and by their parents and by Max. So I'm just like, yeah, they have 4 kids and Jace is one of them. He's just adopted. So I consider him Jace Lightwood, and I love the Lightwood family when they were all together in the Hunter's Moon and they were talking and giggling and like, oh, we're jewelers. Like, it was so nice, and we don't really see family units a lot, especially in shows like this when it's very like vampires, werewolves, warlocks, and witches. Like, we don't really see that a lot. So I thought it was really nice. And then the fact that Maurice has gone through so much, she's been de-ruined, she is basically excluded from all Shadowhunter business, and she has to really figure out what to do with her life. It was so nice to see Isabel there for her and supporting her and telling her that it was going to be okay and that she's there for her and that everything was going to be all right. Like, it was, to me, it was so incredibly tender. And I was like, this is what family is supposed to be. And it was really nice to see it on a show like Shadowhunters, because you don't really expect to on a show like this. You don't expect to see, like, such close family units. But it was actually really nice, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I loved seeing it. It was really nice. And then let's talk about Maurice, okay? We all didn't like her in season 1, and they've made her such a redeemable character. I love that, and I feel like that's what Supergirl was trying to do with Mon-El. If you guys watch Supergirl, you already know what I'm talking about. But Shadowhunters just did it better. Like, if that makes any sense at all, because no one liked Maurice at first, and now she's like this excellent character that everyone loves and wants happiness for. And then to see her connection with Luke, y'all already know I love Luke. He was like my favorite character in season 1, and I wanted him so badly to be happy with Mama Clary, and we saw how that turned out. It's really nice that we got to see a little connection between the two, and I don't want to jinx it and be like, oh, they're in love, they're gonna have babies, da, 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 da. Like, I don't want to do that. But I think that would be really nice if they got together, because Luke hasn't had anyone special since Jocelyn. And Maurice got cheated on and de-ruined and, like, left for dead, basically. Because, I mean, they kicked her out of Shadowhunter World. And Luke has been kicked out of Shadowhunter World, too, when he became a werewolf when he was really young. So I think it's really nice to be able to see the two, like, if it makes any sense, get together and to start a friendship. And they were obviously friends before because they were all working with Valentine at one point or another. I just feel like, personally, if those two got together, it would be really wonderful. I do. I genuinely feel that way. I feel like it would be really good for them both, especially since now they're going through the same thing, and he can help her, like, process and deal and heal as well, and also heal himself, because, like, I know he has his kids, he has Maya, he has Clary, he has his pack, but there's nothing like having a significant other who loves you and would be willing to go through anything with you. And now they're going through the same thing, just during different time periods, and I think it would be really nice if they could be there for each other. And if Maurice becomes a reoccurring character, or even a main character, I would love that. I really would. I would really like that, actually. Can we talk about how Isabel has been like, everyone thinks Isabel is everybody but Isabel. At first, the demon thought Clary was Isabel, and then we have Heidi thinking that Isabel is Maya. When will anyone see Isabel as Isabel? And I just think it's so funny. And I don't really know what they're doing with her character this season. Like, I'll be completely honest. It seems like the main thing that they have going for Isabel right now is that she's always being misinterpreted as Clary, and she's dating a mundane. And Izzy is so much more than just her significant other. And, like, doing the whole addiction thing kind of sucked for her, but it gave her a lot of screen time. And I just wonder what they're gonna do with her character now, because all that's really happened, like, fancy wise, is she kicked Raphael out of New York. She's been called Clary, like, once. She's been called Maya once, and she's got a cute mundane boyfriend. Well, he's not her boyfriend yet, but that's gonna happen too. So I don't know, like, I want them to do something good with her character. She's an amazing character, and I really love, she has so much depth and dimension, and we've already talked about how, like, amazing she is, like, with, like, forensic science, and, like, she's the weapons master, and I just want to see them do something cool with her. I wonder if she'll ever be able to go back to the Iron Sisters and maybe, like, connect with them, and that's something that she had always wanted to be, so maybe something like that will happen for her in the future. I don't know what they're gonna do with her, but I'm really excited to see what. And if she's gonna let Raphael back into town, I think that would be very interesting as well. Now that everyone knows that Jace is the owl, how are they gonna fix him? Because he's under her complete control. He kind of has control where he can talk with his family and act like nothing's wrong, but obviously, like, he does not have any love for Clary anymore. And how are they going to fix him? And how are they going to fix him without the Clave knowing? Because if the Clave finds out, then that means they're going to find out about the wish, they're going to find out about the dead angel, and all this and that. And about Lilith. So they don't know who Lilith is yet, but they've seen her demon form. And they got help from a very young, cute, silent brother who helped them out and brought them some scrolls and stuff of forgotten demon forms. Because Lilith is very old. She's the mother of all demons. She's Mama Demon. That's why I call her that. So she's very old. No one really seems to know much about her and, like, her arc and stuff. She has killed 32 people. We are getting ready to get the 33rd disciple to bring Jonathan back to life. And they stop Jace, but he does end up infecting Ollie, which is Luke's cop, what do they call it? Partner. His cop partner. She did end up getting infected, which means she might kill her girlfriend or her wife. I don't know if they're actually married or not, but they live together and stuff. Because she took off, and they found out that Jace is the owl through the help of the Silent Brother and Magnus and, like, the whole gang. So we all know that Jace is the owl now. Well, and what I mean by all is Clary, Magnus, and Luke. So hopefully they'll be working together in the next episode to see how to fix him. But we don't necessarily know who Lilith is. But Magnus is like, a woman did come to me around the same time that Jay started acting funny and wanted a potion to make someone fall out of love with, you know, someone else. So I think it's all coming together, but they're not necessarily going to know how to find her. But they did say, maybe if we can follow one of the disciples, then they could lead us to Lilith, which probably could happen if they can find Ollie, who has been infected. But now that they know that Jace is the owl, like, what does that mean? What does it all mean? I have so many questions. I left Malik for last just because of the fact that the whole thing just irritated me. Like, I'm so irritated with Malik. So Alec is salty. He's very salty. And can you imagine being that salty while eating French toast? Like, I cannot. But this dude is super upset. He makes Magnus breakfast, and Magnus gives him a compliment like, wow, this is really good. And he's like, yeah, it's great, I'm glad you like it. Maybe you can pick the spatula that I used and put it in your little box. And he's talking about the fact that he's gonna be old and crippled and die one day, and he's just gonna be in the box, and I'm gonna be a burden to you, and I'm so emotional. And Magnus says some dumb shit, and he's like, well, maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal to you if you would have dated someone else besides me. Like, if you would have dated someone before me, maybe this wouldn't be such an issue that we're having. And he's like, oh, so you think I should just, like, go, like, sell my oats? I think that's what he said. I don't know what that means. Like, what does that mean? Like, I would like to think that I keep up with slang and that I know what I'm talking about. But I don't know what that means. Sell my oats. Like, does that mean sleep around? Like, should I just go like sleep around on you and like go date other people? And the thing is, I got really scared because after he like walked out of the house and he left being the salty man he is, because Magnus told him to stop acting like a child. And I won't even lie to you, if my girlfriend ever told me to stop acting like a child, I'm pretty sure I would break up with her on the spot. I thought that was really, that was harsh, okay? But they were talking about, like, that was such a big fight, and I was talking to Dylan, one of my mutuals on Twitter, and we were like, that was a big fight? Bro, I be throwing stuff, I be screaming, and I be yelling and ignoring my partner and stuff, and they're like, that was a big fight? I was like, they was just having a tense conversation. But, Magnus took off, and so did Alec. They both, you know, went their separate ways, and I was really scared. And I was scared because of the fact they brought in another gay Shadowhunter. And I know that the show is predominantly, like, written and created by straight people. So when I found out they were bringing in a gay character who was going to be hanging around Alec while he was drunk, I was like, wow, he's really about to cheat on Magnus. I was like, that's so fucked up. And I was like, this is bad writing. Like, I was so ready to have like an angry review and be like super angry and like grr, but it didn't happen like that at all. He ended up being like a support system for Alec the entire time he was drunk at the bar. They were talking about Magnus and their situation and how Nephilim, how the Shadowhunters just love so fiercely. They love one time and that's it. That's like, and it's over. That's like the end of the game. And he was talking about it with him, and it was such a lovely support system. And he's like, my family can't see me drunk like this, they'll never let me live it down. He's like, well, I'll hail you a cab and you can, you know, get on out of here. You and Magnus will work it out. And I was like, this is so tender. I was like, they had to have brought in like a gay person to write that, because most like straight writers always make like the other person like cheat on somebody, like, and I didn't want that. I really didn't want that, and it didn't happen, and I was so happy. I was like, and I'm like, hopefully this can start like a new friendship, because the same gay Shadowhunter was also the one who was like, you better let Maurice in here. You know, she is the mother of Alec Lightwood, the head of the Institute. So hopefully that like starts a friendship, you know? Like, I don't want there to be any weird jealousy. I don't want there to be any cheating. Like, I'm not here for it. And if it happens, you better believe there will be a 20-minute review discussion from me just yelling and being angry. So let's have that not happen, okay? Okay. I really liked this episode. I thought it was really nice, and I like the Lightwood family. I want to see more of them. I love that Magnus called Clary Biscuit again. That hasn't happened since like season 1, so I was like, oh my god, oh tender, because he's like not necessarily a father figure to her, but like an older brother, you know? He's like the cool older brother that like gives you really good advice, and I love that. And so how did you guys feel about this episode? Did you enjoy salty Alec, or were you over it like I was? Did you feel like their fight was a big deal? How do you guys feel about Isabel always being called someone else's name, being attacked by demons and vampires all the time, having a cute mundane boyfriend who's not her boyfriend yet, but he's a doctor, he's a surgeon? Like, how hot is that? Like, I don't know. Tell me your guys' favorite part of the episode, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you want to. It's all fun and games here. And make sure you check out HB Gibson. He's really cool too. And you guys should totally leave comments on his video and tell him to watch Shadowhunters, so then he can watch my videos and we can like have more conversations about it. Anyway, love you guys.